Practicing your pentatonics doesn't have to be boring. Hey guitarists, this is Mike from Guitar Essentials, and in this lesson we're going to learn a fun way to practice your pentatonic scales. And before we get started, if you could hit that subscribe button. Also, if you'd like free pentatonic scale sheets, the link is in the description. So let's get started. What we're going to do is we're going to start in the key of F minor pentatonic. Some may consider it A flat, and we're going to go through all of our 5 pentatonic shapes. You could also call them forms or boxes. And what makes this a little more fun and interesting is instead of just ascending up the scale and then descending, we're going to switch forms and do what I call zigzagging the pentatonics. So we're going to go up ascending one form, descending down another. First I'm going to play it and then we'll get into the lesson. And hang around for later on in the lesson. We're going to then change the key to A minor pentatonic scales. That way you have a good idea how to do it in another key. You could also follow along with the tabs. So that's how the first pattern works, and I'm going to go through it and show you how to play that. So we're starting on the first fret of the 6th string, and we're doing frets 1 and 4 with fingers 1 and 4. Then on the next 3 strings, we're going to do frets 1 and 3 with fingers 1 and 3. Then the next 2 strings, we're going to do 1st and 4th fret. And then instead of descending in that same form, we're going to go up to the 2nd form or the 2nd box. So now we're on the 6th fret of the 1st string with our 4th finger, and we're going to go frets 6, 4, fingers 4 and 2. We're going to do that on the 1st string as well as the 2nd string. Then we're going to go to the 3rd string, frets 5 and 3. Next 2 strings, frets 6 and 3, fingers 4 and 1. And then on the 6th string, frets 6 and 4, fingers 4 and 2. All right, both of these were in a box pattern, meaning the fingers span 4 frets and have their assigned frets. Same thing with that. So the next one has a shift and will move into a 5 fret range. And then the next 2 forms after that will stay in the box, just so you recognize that. Form 3 now starts on the 6th fret, and I'm going to use my 2nd finger. Eventually you can change which fingers you use depending on what you're playing. So we go 6, 8 on the next 3 strings with fingers 2 and 4. Then we go frets 5 and 8, fingers 1 and 4. Then that's where the shift is. 2nd string, 6th fret to 9th fret, fingers 1 and 4. And then on the 1st string, frets 6 and 8, fingers 1 and 3. Then we shift up. Now you can jump with your pinky or use your 3rd finger. Either one works. The pinky will keep you in that box shape, that 4 fret span. So we're going to use pinky, 11th fret to 8th fret, 4th to 1st finger. Next string, 11th to 9th fret, fingers 4 and 2. Next 2 strings, we're doing frets 10 to 8, fingers 3 and 1. And then on the next 2 strings, frets 11, 8, fingers 4 and 1. Then we go to 2nd finger on the 11th fret. We do 11, 13, fingers 2 and 4 on the next 2 strings. Then 10, 13, fingers 1 and 4, next 2 strings. Then the next 2 strings, we do frets 11 and 13, fingers 2 and 4. Then we go up and we're back to form 1 where we started, but now we're descending. And we're doing frets 16, 13, next 2 strings. then 15-13 for the next 3 strings, fingers 3 and 1, and then 16-13 on the 6th string. And then that ends the whole zigzagging pattern. I'm going to play it up close, slow, and then fast. Feel free to play along. Now, once you learn that, feel free to get creative with the scale. And so what I mean is you can take a common pentatonic pattern, like the one I'm going to show you, and do that through the whole zigzagging pattern. I won't go through the whole thing, but let's say we do a pattern where we go up 3 notes, back 1, up 3, back 1, like this. Etc. And so I'll play it in the first 2 forms so you can see how cool that sounds. Etc. And you go all the way up the whole zigzagging pattern. You could do another common pattern or any patterns you know in the pentatonic scale. The next one I'll show you is groups of 3 like this. Also, recognize that I'm doing alternate picking when I play faster. You could practice at first down picking when you're learning the pattern, but eventually you're going to want to alternate pick. Also, I think it's important to recognize that what makes pentatonic scales played this way easy is we're always playing 2 notes per string, and then we go to the next string. 2 notes per string, etc. All right, so let's get into part 2. We're going to take the same pentatonic forms, but we're going to reverse it. We're going to start descending. And I won't go through the explanation of all of it, which fingers I'm using and which frets. You can see that in the tabs, but I'll play it first at a medium tempo, and then I'll do an up close where I'm doing it very slow and then faster. All right, and then up close. All right, and now this is part 3 where we're going to switch the key to A minor pentatonic. Some may call it C major pentatonic. So it's all the same patterns, just in a different fret. We're at the 5th fret, so we're going to start on the 6th string, first finger on the 5th fret, going to the 8th fret, fingers 1 and 4. And instead of calling out every finger, I'll just play it for you, and then I'll do the same thing where I do close up slow and close up fast. All right, and now this is part 4, where we're going to do the reverse of that, starting with descending. So I found that this zigzagging approach to pentatonics not only made my practicing the pentatonics fun and less boring, but also it made me learn the pentatonic forms a lot better. So I hope you enjoy practicing it. Remember to download your free pentatonic scale sheets. The link is in the description. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you had a lot of fun. If you haven't already, remember to hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next lesson.